In the heart of a green valley stood a small cottage covered with roses, sunflowers, and magical moon blossoms. This cottage belonged to Grandmother Lena, a kind, innocent old woman who grew flowers with healing powers. Her granddaughter, Mira, a sweet and brave 13-year-old girl, lived with her. Every morning, Mira would help her grandmother water the flowers, talk to the bees, and collect petals for herbal tea. But deep in the nearby hills lived Lady Vandra, a selfish and powerful woman who hated growing old. She had once been beautiful, but her heart was full of jealousy and cruelty. When she heard of Grandmother Lena's magical flowers, she made a wicked plan. One stormy night, Lady Vandra sneaked into the garden wearing a black cloak. She whispered dark spells, stole the moon blossoms, and vanished into the woods. The next morning, Grandmother Lena looked pale and weak.
Mira, something is wrong. The moon blossoms are gone. I feel my strength fading.
Mira's heart filled with fear, but also determination.
Nana, I promise. I'll find who did this.
Mira followed tiny broken petals through the forest and up the rocky hills. After hours of walking, she reached an old tower covered in thorns. From a window, she saw Lady Vandra laughing and mixing potions made from the stolen flowers.
You don't deserve their magic.
Now, I'll be young forever.
Mira waited until dark, then carefully climbed through the tower window. She crept behind Vandra and reached for the basket of moon blossoms, but the villain turned suddenly.
A thief in my tower?
I'm not the thief. You are. Those flowers belong to my grandmother.
Do you think a little girl can stop me?
She remembered what her grandmother had once said, kindness is the strongest magic. So instead of fighting, Mira held out a single petal.
Please, you don't need to steal beauty. You can grow it too.
Her eyes flickered with surprise, then sadness. No one had spoken kindly to her in years. Slowly, she dropped the basket and turned away.
Take them. Just go.
Mira raced home with the flowers. She planted them again, and by morning, her grandmother was smiling and strong once more. As for Lady Vandra, no one saw her again. But sometimes, deep in the hills, a garden of wildflowers blooms where nothing ever grew before. Maybe even the coldest hearts can change with a little kindness. A few weeks had passed since Mira had brought the moon blossoms back from Lady Vandra's tower. Grandmother Lena had regained her strength. The flowers were blooming again, and their little garden buzzed with joy. But one morning, Mira noticed something strange. The moon blossoms were changing. Their petals, once glowing with silver light, had turned dull and gray at the edges. The plants began to wilt, even though Mira watered them every day. Nana, Mira asked worriedly.
Why are the flowers fading again?
Something's wrong, my dear. They're magic. It's weakening. I fear Lady Vandra didn't just steal the flowers. She cursed them.
What do we do now?
There is one place we haven't been. The Garden of Whispering Seeds. It's hidden beyond the hollow trees. If we find a true seed, we might be able to heal the blossoms.
But Nana, that garden is only a legend.
Grandmother Lena took Mira's hand.
All legends begin with someone who believes.
That evening, Mira packed a small bag, took a lantern, and set off alone through the forest. The trees were tall and silent. The deeper she walked, the colder it became. Suddenly, a soft whisper floated through the air.
Why do you seek the seeds?
Mira turned around. No one was there, only the wind and the leaves. She walked faster. Again, the whisper came. Softer this time.
Only the pure may find the path.
Mira followed the sound until she reached the hollow trees' massive twisted trunks with dark, empty centers. One tree had a strange glow inside. Mira stepped closer and saw a tiny plant growing in the hollow. It had no leaves, just a golden bud. As she touched it, a warm light bloomed from the seedling, and a soft voice whispered,
You have been tested. Take me, and I will heal what has been harmed.
Mira gently wrapped the seed in a cloth and began her journey home. But far away from the shadows of the forest, Lady Vandra was watching.
The girl has found the true seed. If she plants it, the magic will return, and I'll lose everything.
She pulled out her dark mirror and whispered a spell.
This time, she won't make it back.
And as the wind blew through the trees, the forest began to shift. The real danger was only just beginning. Mira walked quickly through the forest, holding the golden seed close to her chest. Its gentle glow lit her path as the sky darkened above the tall trees. But something felt different. The path she came through was gone. The trees had moved. Thorns twisted out of the ground, vines curled across the trail. The whole forest felt alive and angry.
Don't be afraid. Just keep walking.
Suddenly, a shadow jumped in front of her. It was a creature made of smoke, with red glowing eyes and sharp claws. It let out a hiss and circled her like a snake.
Give me the seed. You don't deserve it.
No, it's for my grandmother, for our garden.
More shadows appeared. They whispered cruel words.
You'll fail. You're just a child. You can't save anything.
For a moment, she almost believed them. Then she remembered her grandmother's words. Kindness is stronger than fear. She closed her eyes and placed the seed on the ground.
I won't fight you, but I won't give up either.
As her tear touched the seed, golden roots burst from the earth, curling around the shadows. They screamed and vanished like smoke in the wind. The forest grew silent once more. The vines pulled back, the path opened, the trees lit up with tiny glowing flowers. Mira picked up the seed. It now pulsed with bright, warm light. She had passed the second test. But up in the hills, Lady Vandra smashed her mirror in rage.
The girl's heart is too strong, but the next trap will break her.
She began her darkest spell yet, a storm spell to destroy everything Mira loved. And back at the cottage, Grandmother Lena looked up at the sky. The wind had changed. Mira, she whispered, hurry home. By the time Mira reached the edge of the forest, the sky was no longer blue. Dark clouds rolled over the valley. Lightning flashed. The wind howled like wolves in the night. Mira clutched the glowing seed and ran. Grandmother Lena stood on the porch, arms open, and cried. Mira fell into her hug.
I found the true seed, Nana, but something terrible is coming.
Suddenly, a loud crack of thunder shook the ground. A fierce storm began wilder than anything the valley had ever seen. Trees bent, rain poured sideways, and from the heart of the storm came Lady Vandra. She floated above the garden in a cloak of shadows, her face twisted with fury.
You should have stayed in the woods, little girl. You may have the seed, but I have the storm.
The moon blossoms burst into flames. The sunflowers turned to ash. The garden cried out. Mira stood in front of her grandmother, shielding her with her arms.
You can destroy the garden, Vandra, but you can't take our love. You can't take our kindness.
Foolish girl, kindness is weak. No, kindness is the oldest magic. And it's not weak, it's eternal.
Together, Mira and her grandmother knelt and planted the glowing seed in the heart of the burned garden. The storm screamed, the earth cracked open, and from the seed, a wave of golden light exploded. It swept through the garden, the valley, and into the sky, washing away the dark clouds, calming the wind, and pushing Lady Vandra backward. No, she cried, shrinking into a shadow. Not again! She vanished into the wind. The garden began to heal. Flowers grew faster than ever, colors brighter. The moon blossoms shimmered like stars. Bees and birds returned. Mira looked around, amazed.
Nana, did we do that?
No, my dear, you did.
That night, under the starlit sky, the valley was quiet again. But something had changed. Mira wasn't just a brave girl anymore. She was the garden's protector, the keeper of light. Spring arrived early in the valley that year. The flowers bloomed brighter, the bees danced longer, the trees whispered songs in the wind. The garden had become more than just beautiful, it was now alive with magic. Mira stood beside Grandmother Lena, watching new petals open under the morning sun.
It's like the garden remembers everything.
It does. It remembers your courage, your heart, and your kindness.
News of the miracle spread far and wide. People from nearby villages came to see the garden. Some were sick, some were sad, and some just came to feel peace. The garden welcomed them all. Mira would greet them, hand them a flower, and tell them stories about moon blossoms, whispering seeds, and the power of love. And deep in the hills, where Lady Vandra had once lived, something unexpected happened. tiny wildflowers began to grow near her broken tower. No one saw her again, but legend says that sometimes, when the moon is full, a soft light glows through the trees, and the wind carries a whisper, "Kindness always wins." Years passed. Mira grew older, but she never left the garden. She became known as the Flower Keeper, a protector of nature, magic, and hope. Grandmother Lena lived many more happy years, always proud of her brave granddaughter. And every time a new child wandered into the garden and asked, "Is magic real?" Mira would kneel beside them, hand them a glowing petal and say, "Yes, it lives in kindness, courage, and the smallest seed of love." And so, the garden bloomed forever. The end? Thank you so much for watching and supporting Tiny Sprinkles A. If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and subscribe for more magical tales. Your kindness means the world to us.